everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of the new subscribers that have just joined the channel. Thank you all for subscribing and supporting this guy's crazy journey. Today's journey brings me back to a spot that I worked a year ago, and I feel super blessed to have these guys call me back to do more work for them again this year, as it's not too often you get requested by the PGA Tour. The guys that I was working with are a group from North Carolina, and it was a blast being able to catch up with them and hear all of the places that they have been. But as usual, with this beast, we have to stop at the gas station again before work. Once I got there, it was straight to work, doing roughly the same things that I had done last year, which is putting together these big metal carts to carry around the scoreboard for the PGA golf tournament. The scoreboard doesn't stay on the cart, we actually have to build a base and build out the entire scoreboard. Once it's fully built, we use a tractor to go drop it off in the location that it needs to be seen for all of you on TV. Once dropped off and fully assembled, it looks like this. Once that job was done, I got my hands on a golf cart, and what a blast it was. But of course, they wouldn't just give me a golf cart to go rip around on without a responsibility. I had to go put up these posts to indicate for crosswalks, so that when people came by watching them golf, they would know where to walk. And I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of golf, but this scenery is definitely beautiful, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I even seen wildlife here. But eventually, the end of the day did come. Later that evening, I ended up running into a friend of mine, Crystal. She's a senior who lives in her Jeep, and for the longest time I've seen her struggle with putting garbage bags over her windows to try and get a little bit of privacy. So she got some reflective insulation, and I offered to help her cut out some window coverings to give her some privacy, and also to help with the cooling, as it is warm here in the Alberta summers. It will also do the same effect in the winter with keeping heat in. Eventually, all of the reflectix will be covered in a black fabric and look something like this. But like Johnny Cash once said, one piece at a time. The next morning, I was off to work again, but this time it was not at a glorious golf course. Today, I was doing shotcreting, or basically prepping for shotcreting. And if you don't know what that is, don't feel bad. I didn't either until my first time, but I'll be sure to walk you through it as we go. Today's job was basically near downtown Calgary, which was pretty interesting as I don't come near downtown very often. Once I got to the work site and seen how big of an operation it was time to unleash the beast. Hang on, fumble. Yeah, there we go. Unleash the beast. Time to go to work. Once this guy was done digging a hole, it was time to start shotcreting. And shotcreting is basically putting metal mesh all along these walls. And then we spray it with concrete in order to sturdy up the foundation of the dirt along the side. Huh? Well, it's kind of a glove. This is the metal mesh I was talking about, and we have to cut it down so that it fits along the first 10 feet of the top of the hole, right here. And then we hold it in there with rebar pins. The pins are eventually tie-wired to the mesh, and then you're basically set up to spray concrete. But just like any job, the prep work is very important. If the pins are not set right, if there's not enough pins, if the tie wire is not tight enough, if the whole thing isn't tight enough to the wall itself, then none of it matters when you go to spray the concrete, because it could all come tumbling down in a big goopy mess. Once the concrete truck showed up, it was time to spray. And once it was sprayed, we had to let it set up, which basically meant it's quitting time. So, with a short commute, I was back to my home. After my shower, I went down to go check on the posse at Deerfoot City. And, to my surprise, there wasn't too many people around. But there was one guy, and his name is Reese. And he's a recent friend of mine who has come here from the UK and has been working on getting his heavy equipment driving license so he can go to work here in Canada. But while he's going to school, he's living in this pretty sweet Chevy motorhome. He's been doing a lot of cool work to it, trying to update it and maintain it the best he can. And any chance I can, I try and lend a hand. And with it being a Chevy, it's almost a joy for me to work on, as it brings back memories to me when I used to have my motorhome and was fixing it up myself. But to be honest, he's already doing a better job than I did on mine. So good on you, brother. Later that evening, I got to meet a fellow who was very new to Vanlife and was curious on where to park. So when he seen me in the parking lot, he came up and just kindly asked, "Hey, where would be a safe place to park for the night?" So I gave him the lay of the land, and then I was off to get some supper. Well, I didn't say I was gonna make it, did I? Anyway, once I got my pizza and I parked on the street for the night, it was time to relax. And at this point, I think we're gonna end the video off here, you guys. Again, thank you very much to all of the new subscribers who have recently joined the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you all have a moment, please hit like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Also, if you would like to help support the channel that little extra, you could always join the YouTube memberships that are now available. But not only will you help support the channel, you will also get real-time updates and early video releases. But until next time, you guys, remember, never give up on living life, because life is the most precious thing we have. I'll see you all in the next one.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone and that includes you. Who are you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody's right, yeah.